Hi there, my name is Jeremy, and this project is titled Greenskeeping, Relief for Golf and Kin. This thesis uses landscape architecture to interrogate interactions between perceptions surrounding golf and perceptions surrounding landscape. The position of golf in contemporary Melbourne. Golfing land in urbanity is scrutinised for land and water usage, its relationship with ecology, and its limitations on the economy. This land and these competing forces have complex interactions with the urban to rural gradient. This thesis recognises the benefits and detriments of golf according to such pressures. It also recognises that golf is an economic placeholder which prevents green space from being developed. How can this placeholder best serve these multiple interests in this gradient? Burnley Golf Club is very urban and has pressures from all sides. This results in mediocre golf and land which could do more for many stakeholders. Whereas golf at suburban Dorset has more room and is used by golfers and public alike. The golfer, the public, and wildlife and waters have relationships with golf, and this thesis asks, how can landscape architecture shape perceptions of the golfing image? How can landscape architecture consider public amenity alongside golf? And how can golf courses pursue biodiversity values and ecosystem health? Fantasy, psychology, and theory. By looking at the digital realm of video game design, one can further appreciate aspects to environmental psychology relating to landscapes. For example, how video games curate place memory through sensory stimulation and design. Sensory design alongside cultural artifacts takes the player to all corners of the earth and beyond. They also curate journey, reward, and danger. Golf courses and fantasy golf also take us to far-reaching corners of the earth, with shaped landscapes, sensory stimulation, and cultural elicitation. Fantasy golf curates prospect and refuge and also has journey, reward, and danger. With this inspiration came the design of Blue Gum Country Club from 2010. It takes such personal influences and love for golf and aims to reconcile golf with ideas of Australian forests. This brings us to Nassau's messy landscapes. Golf, born from the ever messy, has evolved into perfect surfaces embedded within messy ecosystems. Landscape designs follow similar suit. On the flip side, ordered landscapes have also been curated by golf and landscape designs. For example, at Augusta National Golf Club, Adachi Museum of Art, and the Australian National Arboretum. So the key takeaways are how video games use sensory design, cultural aspects, and journey, danger, and safety to shape perception and placemaking memory, how golf and landscape design reflect evolution in culture, art, technology, and expectations, and how balance between order and messiness reflects Western respect for landscape. Process of application to site. Theories explored include Allen's field conditions, Koolhaas's pliable surface, Mozingo's aesthetics of ecological design, Wall's programming the urban surface, Nassau's cues to care, and Gobster's considerations for landscape perception. Prominently, Allen's from object to field conditions and Nassau and Mozingo's messy ecosystems orderly frames help this project. Theories for golf design aim to apply shorter but strategic and equitable golf across differing golfing abilities to allow more room for ecology, and golf courses with distinct designs inspired by the history of course design. For this project, there has been significant research into these aspects surrounding site, history and golf to find the ingredients for design. This is our site, just northeast of Cape Schanck Lighthouse. It's a relatively blank 1.6 square kilometre parcel of land in a pristine location. It could connect vital headland habitat from south to north. Government data reveals elevation change and geology, and slope, contouring, and watershed. There are 3 EVCs adjacent to our site, indicating a high density of around 1 plant per metre squared. And here are some of the plant species, specifics, and preferences. The National Arboretum in Canberra experiments with geometry in planting arrangement. This acts as an excellent precedent to inspire orderly frames for ecosystems. Applying this to Cape Schanck, you can see different gradients in the tree and shrub sizes, but order in their placement. This indicates back to gardenesque and picturesque principles. Prior to planting design, the ingredients of the site were revealed through research. These were spatialized at several scales across the site according to Allen's field distributions, links, and nodes. 4 quadrants of ingredients are theoretically spatialized, then laid down on site more zoomed in. They aim to create 4 very different and distinct landscape experiences for unique spatial memory. Each of the golf holes were then designed at 1 to 1250 on A3 by hand and scale ruler. At this scale level, the detail and ideas for the golf holes could be sufficiently achieved for the purposes of this thesis. These sketches are then brought back into the digital base map. Colonial golf holes interact with and disturb the colonial grid. These quadrants were then printed at 1 to 2500 to design the interstitial landscape path networks. The whole design process was mostly non-hierarchical. It worked from bottom up and top down simultaneously. The result, work in progress. To recap, we wanted to find and reveal ingredients of the site, design golf and landscape across scales for golfers, non-golfers, and ecology, create placemaking memory to elicit respect for landscape values, and to use golf as a testbed for its stakeholders in the urban to rural gradient. Some important project specifics include 1.6 kilometres squared of landmass to include 24 golf holes, public landscape experiences, and significant landmass to benefit and restore vital ecology. And initial axonometry reveals landscape memory created through orderly frames, for example with a row of cypress trees. Here is the working master plan with digitised sketches in quadrant 1. The aim is to complete all 4 quadrants for this thesis. Zooming in, quadrant 1 should embed the experience within hills and valleys. It should have trees lining the hills, it should be a somewhat ordered park, and somewhat a messy heathland. Work has been done in surface manipulation, resulting in elevation, slope and contouring of site. Here is the mesh and master plan of the first 6 holes for our golfing stakeholders, sculpted by morning light. It could be said that while this project started with the blueprint typological approach, it now reveals an experience embedded in the poetry and specificity of site. And here, the landscape and vegetation design serves both stakeholders of the public and ecology. And lastly, a fly-through of hole 1 reveals strategy and equitability for golf, and order, messiness and poetry of landscape for golfers, public and ecology. Thank you for listening.